Hello, everybody. Welcome, one and all, young and old, to the first ever Die Party Friday Night Fights. That's right. We're wrestling today. We're wrestling hardcore. Let me go around and introduce everyone before we get started. Up first, we have Graham, who's one of our old GMs from our other games. He's joining us today as a wrestler. We don't know what he is yet, but he will explain it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Up next, we have Arthur, who's going to be our GM for tonight. I don't know what you call it. Is it GM?
It's creative.
Creative. You're the creative tonight. I'll have to change that on the thing. And lastly, but not least, we do have David, who is a new player to the Die Party franchise, but he is part of Arthur's entourage, I guess you'd call it.
Dream team. How's that sound?
I like that. I like that.
I feel so much cooler with these glasses on now.
You know what? Let me just fucking join you real quick.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm feeling it. So, in case you were wondering, we are actually playing Worldwide Wrestling. Is that what it's called?
Oh yeah, that's what it's called, baby.
Hell yeah! And just so everyone knows, I have no fucking idea what wrestling is.
I want to step in here real quick for our viewers on YouTube and just say that, you know, pause the video right now and go look up this thing on Google. It's called Wrestling Isn't Wrestling. It was made just like a week ago, and it does this half-hour introduction as to what professional wrestling is perfect to watch just before this show.
Absolutely.
Look at all people nodding their head.
I might even link it because I watched it and I'm like, all right, I think I know what I'm doing now.
Is the story of Triple H.
Yeah, and his rise to fucking awesomeness. Well, not really.
Well, questionable.
Triple H is
under debate.
So, Arthur, before we get started, why don't you explain who you are and what you do, because I know that you do a lot of things.
I do. Most of those things involve streaming. I am Arthur Perkins, also known as AP Gaming Real. I'm also a Twitch streamer. I stream a couple times a week, and Dave's also on one of my shows, Plunder in Peril, on Sunday nights.
Mm-hmm. I am.
So you should come check that out.
Absolutely.
Lots of pirate stuff.
I play a fucking horse shaman. That's all you really need to know.
And you get smoked up all the time.
Mm-hmm. I do, because my love of the ladies is too deep.
That's true. You have demonstrated such a thing.
I have, yes. But for all those people playing at home, why don't you go ahead and explain to us what it is that World Wrestling is and what we're doing tonight?
I'd be glad to. So Worldwide Wrestling is based on the Powered by the Apocalypse system. I don't roll any dice. My hands are going to be free all night to do other things.
Gross.
Powered by the Apocalypse is you roll 2d6, you add a stat, and you try to get a 7 or better. If you get 7 to 9, you partially succeed, but something bad also happens. If you get a 10 plus, whatever you say goes, and something good happens to you. 6 or less, something very bad happens to you, and you probably get wrecked.
Mm-hmm. Very simple system. If any of you guys have ever played Dungeon World before, it's very similar to that in terms of like how the die rolls work, I guess, for the most part. Yeah.
I think most of the rest of the system we can explain as we go. Rather than just front-ending everybody with a bunch of rules, it's so easy to just show rather than tell.
Absolutely. I think we should...
Who is this black box up here?
Oh, that is...
Oh, Sean?
Sean, yeah. He's not joining us today. He had things to do. But he is going to be joining us for the next session.
He will be, yes.
Yeah. So, in total, we do have 4 players and creative, which is Arthur. But today, we're just going to start off with 3 due to timing, circumstances, and whatnot. So, Derpy Hooves, I'm glad that you are jelly, but you get to watch us, man. You get to watch us. All right. What are we doing first? What's up? What are we doing?
So, I want to talk about getting the PDF for this game. It's actually 90% of it, the beta, is completely free on the developer's website.
Damn.
It's Nathan D. Pauletto Games. You just look for Worldwide Wrestling RPG. He encourages people to try before they buy. If you want to pick it up, it's like $10 on drivethrurpg.com. So if you want to go grab that real quick while we're talking, guys, you can actually follow along.
Hell yeah, you can.
But we're going to go right through the PDF starting on page 16, how to get started. We're going to build the roster. All of the players should have the character sheet that they would like open. So everyone's got their gimmick. They're going to need to come up with a name and a look, figure out where they come from and what their entrance prompt is. So like their entrance thing. This is all in our minds, so you can have incredible entrances that no one would ever be able to afford in real life. Just the craziest shit. So whatever you feel like your wrestler should have, they should have. So who wants to tell us their character first? What's their gimmick?
Just so everyone knows, I have come extremely unprepared to this session, unfortunately. Mostly because it's been a hell of a week for me, but Arthur... where can we find the character sheet that you were just talking about?
I think I sent you guys the links in the email.
Oh, you might have, actually.
Yeah, I should have sent you a connection to my Google Drive.
Oh, okay.
But if you're looking for them in the PDF, they're around... Oh, yeah, they're the last couple of pages.
Last couple of pages.
Yeah, they're around, like... Let's see here. Page 130 in the PDF.
Okay. I'm trying to find this character sheet because I want to fill that shit out.
It's called, like, WWWRPG Core Gimmicks.
Oh, right. Yes. Did you send it over Skype? I thought you might have.
No, but I can certainly... Let me go to my drive and grab it again.
Yeah, because I'm opening all of this shit, and I'm just like, where is it? Where is it? Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. Completely unprepared. I've had one hell of a week today. This entire
today?
week.
A whole week in one day?
Yeah, it feels like it, man. It really does.
Hey, I passed it back on Skype.
Thank you. I will close it real quick so it doesn't screw it. All right. Okay, perfect. Yes.
So do we have somebody else that's, like, ready to go right here while Dave gets himself organized?
Yeah.
Graham, not to call you out, but I think you had a fantastic idea. Can we run with that?
I think so, too. Yeah, I'll go. That's fine.
All right. So what gimmick did you choose?
So, do I just talk about it? Or?
Yeah. Which gimmick?
Well, Clarence Wolfsbane comes from the deepest, darkest swamps of, of wherever there are swamps.
Louisiana.
I didn't do any research. But he's from
Swampland, America.
Swampland, USA, and he was orphaned very, very young as a child, and the swamp raised him. And he's got all sorts of crazy tattoos on his face and on his body, and he wears animal skins, and he doesn't really fit into normal society. He doesn't really understand. He doesn't really get it. But there's one thing he knows. It's wrestling. So he is a professional wrestler now. He, he doesn't take any guff from anybody. And when he gets really angry, he transforms into his animalistic wolfman persona, and he loses all mental faculties whatsoever and just becomes a killing machine, or a maiming machine, a wrestling machine.
Okay. Which specific gimmick did you take? Wasn't it the hardcore?
Oh, it was a monster or wasted. I don't know. There's
the wasted. Yeah, you could take wasted, I guess.
Maybe.
Maybe. Monster
sounds more like
fine.
monster.
Yep, let's go with monster.
Sure.
All right. So, you've got your stats filled out there. So the stats are look, which are kind of making you look pretty before the audience. Power, which is shrugging off blows and dropping some bombs. Mm-hmm. Real is when you try to hurt someone physically for real, and it's also for speaking to the audience while dropping the act of wrestling. And then work, which is the actual, putting someone into a submission hold. So where did you put your stats in there?
And then add 1 to 1 stat.
Yep. So what did you end up picking?
Well, let's see. Me as a person playing a wrestler, what would I pick?
Maybe
Probably.
power. I reckon.
I was thinking power or real. So what's the difference between real and work again?
So real is when you're trying to injure someone for real rather than just, like fake wrestling.
I'll put it in work.
Yeah, work is like technical wrestling, matching up with your opponent and doing some really crazy stuff.
So do work. Add 1 to work.
Okay, so that's going to give you a look of 0, a power of 1, a real of -2, and a work of 0?
Yes.
Okay. All right, well, you're a powerful dude right there. Let's see what we got next. You start with your finishing move.
Mm-hmm.
What is your finisher?
Do I have to pick from the moves, like in the...
Oh, no, you tell me. What's your finisher name and what do you do? You can do whatever you want. You could pick someone up by the legs and cartwheel them out into the crowd.
Can I fight somebody? Like,
Yeah, totally.
That'll be it. Yeah, fighting
What
somebody.
do you call that move?
It's a good question.
Hungry hippos.
Wolf jaw. Wolf bite. Wolf rend. That sounds good.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. I could see the announcers being like, "Is that no? It's the wolf friend! No!
Yeah.
Oh! Look at the blood pack! I mean the blood!"
Yeah. Can we do things where we have like razor blades hidden and we can grandstand to the crowd and they cut themselves like?
Yeah. I mean, you couldn't use them in a non-hardcore match.
Well,
without getting disqualified. But if you're just using it for like cinematic purpose, yeah.
Yeah, I mean
something like that would be like a look. You'd be playing to the audience.
Okay. Yeah, got it.
Yeah, I mean, in a hardcore match, you can bleed and get actual benefits out of it, right?
Yep. We'll get to that part later, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you get to pick 2 moves from your move list.
Mm-hmm. And that is...
That's beneath finishing move there. So you got shoot, kill, which is when you go after someone for real. Intimidating, which lets you use power instead of look when you're outside the ring to do like promos and stuff. Okay, not of this world. You can pick or create a signature match stipulation. So, for instance, like let's say Hell in a Cell never existed. You could say it's called the Wolf's Den now. And so Hell in a Cell Wolf's Den would be your signature thing. Or you can pick Will You Look at That Size, which gives you +1 power.
Oh, None of This World's pretty good. +2 momentum, is that a lot?
Yeah, +2 momentum. So we'll come back to this later, but momentum allows you to add to your dice roll after the dice are already on the table.
Got it.
So you can basically nudge your roll into a successful.
Does that get used up?
Yeah. So at the end of
like...
every game, your momentum's gone, and you start with new momentum.
Oh, cool. And
Are we operating? Go ahead.
You get permanent momentum if you take that skill. Is that what you're saying?
No, whenever he starts a match that is his favored match, he starts with 2 momentum.
I see.
Are we operating under a conceit that the WWE does not exist?
Yes.
I like what you said, and so...
The Hell in a Cell, you're going to call it the Wolf's Den?
No, the Wolf's Den.
All right, the Wolf's Den. And so I think Hell in a Cell is where like there's an exit like right at the top of the cage, and you have to climb out.
Well, you can in Hell in a Cell. It's just the walls are a cage, and you can climb out. If you get out, you win.
Yeah.
And so there's some rule. There's some times there's a door that the ref will open, and you can get out that way. But you can also climb out the top.
That's an ordinary cage match, actually.
Okay.
Sorry,
well, this match is whatever you want it to be. You've made it up, so. We know you're going to take it. We can come back to it later, and you can tell me exactly what happens.
Well, I like the idea of it being where there is one exit, but I'm guarding the exit, and that's the point. Is like getting
Okay, so you're basically Gandalfing.
something like that.
Okay, so when you are injured and an opponent uses your injury against you, they gain momentum and you get heat. We'll explain these concepts later.
Sure.
But the important part is that when you get rid of your injuries, you can demand a revenge match against whoever injured you.
Good. Okay. I plan to do that a lot.
I plan to injure myself a lot.
All right, so let's see here. You start with one audience, which means you also start with one momentum. I need to write that down.
Plus one audience, plus one momentum.
Right, and what was the name of your character again?
Well, he's Clarence. His wrestler name is Clarence, but then he becomes just the wolf.
I'm just going to put the wolf down then.
That's fine.
So, Wolf, you are starting with one audience and one momentum. All right. I think that's everything for you. So make sure you write down momentum. Are you going to be a baby face or a heel? And in wrestling terms, that means are you going to be a good guy or a bad guy?
Well, I guess technically, due to my feral nature, I'd be a heel.
Oh, you could be a good guy if you wanted to, but
well, I
want to be a heel.
I would move back and forth. I'd be like an anti-hero, depending on the situation.
Oh yeah, you can turn
really
face whenever you want to.
Okay, well, let's start off as heel, and I may save somebody and turn face.
Okay, all right. So back up under your roles, which is the lower right of the first page. It shows you how you can break your role and switch around.
Oh, okay.
Anytime you want. So just let me know. I think that covers all of the beginning for you right here. So we're going to pop over to the next person. Who wants to go next?
I think I'm okay going next. If you want, David.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I'm going to be playing Frankie Gullens. He is a golden boy, and he is literally the future of Friday Night Fights. He is basically, he had an older man who was, say, a veteran of the industry, and he came in hot off the heels of him. So he had, you know, a very big boots to fill, but he filled them super quick. You know what I mean? Like first match, he came in, he was like, "I'm here."
As a rookie, he wins Money in the Bank. And
yeah, that's right. Yeah, he gets it. He gets everything he wants when he does it because he is the future, you know. Let's see here. What else do I get?
So the other thing about Golden Boys is that someone backstage is bankrolling you. Someone, we may or may not know who it is, but someone is taking you to the top.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Do I have to decide that now?
Nope.
Fantastic. Let's leave that open. I like the idea of leaving that open.
So what's your name?
Frankie Gullens.
All right. Frankie, where are you from?
Well, it says here I got a few options, so let's pick one of these.
Or you can just pick wherever the hell you want. So
I'm gonna go with Los Angeles, California, because I'm.
Oh, okay.
So it makes sense. Yeah.
All right. The Golden Boy from the Golden State. All right. What is your entrance? What can you tell us about it, just in broad terms?
It's very showy. Like it's like over the top. It's like, you know, I don't know who it was that did it, but I know there's a wrestler that's like when he comes in, he's like the champ is here and all that sort of shit. Like, you know, I wanted to come in, I want fireworks to go off, and I want to sort of like beat my chest as I walk in. I want
that sounds like John
raise
Cena.
a fist. Yeah. Okay. You know what? I think I know who John Cena is. He's the guy that does that, right?
Yeah.
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 Okay. I'm gonna basically be an incarnation of him.
Oh boy, everyone hates you.
I come in and I got like a trucker hat on, you know, I got like my sweatbands on, but you know he's got an impeccably toned body, like he's just like fucking, you know, ready to kick ass and take names. He wears so his rundown is just basically him just like hyping up the crowd and like, you know, shadow boxing and that sort of stuff. And behind him, it's got like, oh, I don't know. Let's say fucking the American flag with eagles on it or some bullshit like that.
Awesome.
You know, just something like, yeah, and fucking, oh god, I'm not familiar with the
mask. You're missing the mask.
I'm missing the mask. Actually,
Yep.
yeah, that's true. He does wear a mask. It is a chicken mask, and he puts it on to keep his anonymity away. Even though he does have a father that was in the ring, no one has actually seen what he looks like. So there's that. He says that he's the son of this guy, but he might not be. But he will probably is. So he covers his face, but he is very American, and the chicken mask is pretty much his way of, like, maybe one day he'll unveil it, maybe not. Who knows? I'm making this up as I go because
it's good.
I have no fucking idea what makes a good wrestler. So yeah, but his name is definitely Frankie Gullens, and he does wear a mask. And
All right.
yeah.
Let's talk about stats.
Mm-hmm.
So you start with +1 look,
Yeah, I do. Yes.
0 power, -2 real, and -1 work, and you get to add 1.
So I'm thinking I'll add it to the look.
Okay, you're gonna just double down on that look.
Hell yeah, I'm going to double down on that look. Because there's also a move in here that gives me 1 look when I do it. So I'm thinking I'll do that. And I'm also going to take I Am the Future, which also doubles down on the look even further.
Okay, we'll get to that in just a second.
Okay.
We got to talk about your finishing move first.
Oh, absolutely. Okay.
Yeah, tell me about it.
So the finishing move of Frankie is to what's a good one? I was thinking like run up and like basically it looks like a kick, but basically what he does is he jumps on because he works with people like he in the ring, so he's not intentionally injuring people when he plays.
Okay,
so,
all right, cool.
Because he's got
That's
very
interesting.
-2 real, so he's willing to work with other people, and that's what makes him such a good wrestler. So basically, his move is to sort of run up, put both feet, like jump in the air, put both feet on the person's chest, and sort of like jump off them and push them down.
Oh, you're doing a super drop kick.
Yeah, and then, I'm thinking maybe something like he comes down on top of them after he jumps off them, sort of thing. So that's what I'm thinking happens.
To do the pin, yeah.
And that's what I'm thinking happens. And the idea is that he works with the opponent so that he doesn't injure them as much as possible. So this sort of push down is the most, in my eyes, sort of like the most interesting way that you can sort of make it look like you're hurting someone, but you're actually not. So.
Okay. All right, so you get to pick 2. You got Dynasty Scion, which gives you +1 look, which plays perfectly into being the son of a professional. I think you said you also want to take I Am the Future.
Yes.
So when you keep a promise or follow through on a threat you make on camera, you can roll and get yourself booked in a match or add a stipulation to it and add momentum.
So what type of stipulations can we add to matches? I'm curious.
So that's an excellent question. Let's go over it. If you're following along at home, this is in the Play Aids section. Stipulations, championship match, last man woman standing, hair versus hair, I quit match, loser leaves town. That's a devastating one.
Damn.
Beat the clock challenge, strap match, which is where both wrestlers have like a rope tied to them, and you have to drag them to the 4 turnbuckles.
Okay.
Then there's buried alive, which is where you stick somebody in a casket and nail it shut.
That's gruesome. That's pretty gruesome. That's
and of course, now
we
have another match stipulation, right? Because we've got Wolf just made up the Wolf's Den.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely.
You don't want to get booked in that. Not versus him.
So this Destiny's Siscon, is that how you say it? Scion?
Yeah, Destiny Scion.
Scion.
Dynasty Scion.
Dynasty Scion. Yeah, sorry. Do I get one look every time I do that move? Like, how does that work?
Oh, no, that's like a passive move, so that just gives you +1 look, period.
Oh, cool. Yeah, all right. I'll add that to my
With these MMO terms, it's a passive buff to your stats.
Damn.
So your look is at +3 now, right?
Do I get a prompt?
You had a +1, then you added another +1 to it, right?
Did I? Where did I get the other +1 from?
When you start out, you get to add 1 stat. I think you put it in look.
Yes, that's absolutely
So
correct.
you have a +3 look. You have the max you can get.
Damn, I'm a buff motherfucker.
You are really good outside the ring at talking to people.
That's gonna be interesting.
All right. When you are injured, you can refuse to compete in a match. You gain heat versus anyone that you would have faced.
Yeah, like a weenie.
Yeah. It's like the veteran move. You start with +1 audience.
All right.
Which is so. I didn't really explain this. We'll go into it in later detail, but audience is how you level up, which means you also start with 1 momentum. Are you a baby face or a heel?
People hate me because they ain't me, so I'm a heel.
Okay, all right. So you do not get any heat with your friend Wolf there. You're both heels.
Well, when he's in good state.
Yeah, when he switches to babyface, he will gain +1 heat with you.
See, the thing is, I'm starting out as kind of mysterious, and so people don't really understand me. But I may turn face by, maybe I'll save somebody, my animalistic urges will take over, and who knows what could happen.
Your entrance theme.
I might flip-flop.
Yeah, your entrance theme should be like, you think you know me, you think you know me. Yeah, that's a classic callback right there. I think that wraps it up. Dave, right?
Cool. Yeah, no, that
right.
seems like I got everything I need.
David.
Hello.
Let's talk about your character. Tell us more.
I am playing the clown gimmick,
Holy
available in the Worldwide Wrestling Season 1 gimmick expansion at DriveThruRPG as Pay What You Want.
So nothing, basically.
I paid 50 cents, but then again, I had some
You can
credit.
get it for nothing, however.
You can get it for nothing.
You probably
yes.
paid more in tax with that 50-cent donation than you did anything else. That's cool, though. I appreciate that, Muster.
I actually have to download that, maybe. Oh, no. Nope. I do have it. Bam, there we go. Man, I'm so good at preparing.
My wrestler's name is Cowboy. Not one word. Cow-boy. Continuing in apparently the animal-themed wrestlers that we have going on. My character is a goofy, scrawny little guy in a singlet with white with black cow spots and rubber udder on the front.
Oh, God. This is a zoo, man.
Yeah, it is. It's literally a zoo. I already have tons of puns stockpiled. And,
that's terrifying.
Yeah,
have you considered killing yourself? Please no.
He is a babyface wrestler.
Oh, there we go. All right, there we go.
Move over.
You stole one already, eh?
Oh, is that one of them?
Yep, of course. He hails from the backstage area. His entrance is... I'm not entirely sold on this. I know it starts with a loud cow moo. And then the music I've settled on right now, which we won't really sing because we only do fair use, is Tub Thumping by Chumbawamba.
Okay.
I was debating Hanging Tough by New Kids on the Block, but I think I'll stick with Tub Thumping. The video is cows grazing in a field and him smiling and doing his horn gesture. And yeah, he's a former rodeo clown turned wrestler.
Now, is that his real story, or is that just the kayfabe?
That's the kayfabe.
Okay. Okay. Let's talk about stats. You get +1 look, -2 power, +1 real, and -1 work.
Whoa, +2 look? Damn.
No, he only gets +1 look. He has -2 power. That's where he takes a hit.
My freebie is going into real.
Okay, you're going to be really real. Are you out to intentionally injure other wrestlers, or is this just going to be you're breaking the fourth wall?
I have a lot of breaking the fourth wall going on.
Excellent. Okay.
What's next?
Finishing move.
My finishing move, stolen from the Canadian indie wrestler who sort of inspired this character, is, of course, the ass punch.
I assume it goes much like how you would think.
You know, there's a lot of nerve clusters in that ass.
Is it like one of those comedic, like, and then you punch them, or is it literally just run up and punch them right in the butt?
There's a fair amount of show.
Okay, so yeah, you got to like walk around and do the prep work for it.
Yeah. So that is my finishing move.
All right, you get to pick 2 talents.
My 2 other ones, one will be funny is money, which gives me another look and allows me to work the audience even if I botch earlier in the show.
That's important because if you fail to keep working the audience, you're basically done as a clown.
Yep. And my other one is going to be comic relief.
Okay. So, you insert yourself into a tense situation, on or off camera, you roll real. The options are +2 momentum, add or remove a stipulation to a match, gain a concession, or +1 heat with someone. On a botch, it was the absolute worst thing you could have done in that moment.
Which will open me up to all kinds of problems from creative. I'm sure I look forward to it.
All right, when you are injured, if you roll anything but +look while you are in the ring, choose whether you tick another injury box or the ref calls an audible and ends the match on a no contest. So that's rough, man. If you get injured, you either got to keep getting injured or you got to lose the match.
Well, it's kind of weird that they say a no contest because that's not normal wrestling rules, but because a no contest is a tie.
Well, yeah, but, I mean, if you no contest, you aren't winning. And, you know, if you're not first, you're last. All right, you start with 2 audience, and you always reset to 2 audience, so you level pretty quickly.
That's pretty good.
You also start with 1 momentum. Are you a baby face or a heel?
You're definitely a baby face, I think.
All right, so...
The only good guy in the fucking game is a cowman.
You're going to start with 1 heat with the other wrestlers, and they're going to start with 1 heat with you.
Now, should we mention anything about our backstage characters?
We will come to the backstage characters after we see them as wrestlers.
Okay.
So, let's talk about what all these terms mean. Again, audiences level up. When you get to 4 audience or 0 audience during an episode, you gain in advance, so like a level up.
Really? So if you lose all your audience, you level up?
Yes. If you have 0 audience at the end of the episode, you're fired. Your character's retired, you're done. If you are the person holding 4 audience at the end of the episode, you get to do the over move, which means you get to make some pretty interesting choices at the beginning of the next time.
Interesting.
There can only be 1 person with 4 audience, so once you hit 4 audience, you're there, and then you're bumped down if someone else hits the top spot. If the last match has multiple people hit the top spot, they both get to hit the over button next time.
Okay.
Can I get the other characters' names again? I forgot to write them down.
Wolf, Frankie, and Cowboy.
I think I might change my on-stage name because Frankie Gullens, it sounds like an actual name, and I completely forgot about the mask. So, give me a moment here. I'll come up with something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me move in a bit.
El Pollito.
El Pollo. Eras con pollo.
He's not Spanish by any sense of the word, so that'd be super weird. Like, he's basically like, you know how Clark Kent wears, like, glasses, sort of thing?
To hide his face.
Yeah, to hide his face. It's kind of like that. He's kind of got like the masquerade mask going on with like the beak coming out, sort of thing, and then he's got like a trucker hat on top of it.
Do you want some sort of cock joke?
Yeah,
Nope.
why not?
Oh, well, it's happening.
It's happening.
Well, it's up to you.
Uh,
I don't have one. Should I think of one?
let's call him Rooster.
Can we just
Rooster
call him
Cogburn?
Rooster? Can we literally just call him Rooster?
That's kind of boring. Rooster.
Oh, okay.
Rooster.
Just remember, if you have Rooster at any part of the name, that's what they're going to call you in the ring.
That's fine.
You know,
Rooster
they don't say,
Hagen, that's a
like,
good name.
John Layfield Bradshaw. They just say JBL. All right, Rooster. We'll keep that until you get
Rooster
name.
Limes. There we go.
Rooster Limes.
What?
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, we got Rooster Limes. Now we're going to go in reverse order, and we're going to talk about heat.
Cock never? No way.
No.
Fucking chat.
So heat is how much the audience likes seeing two wrestlers together.
Oh, okay.
So the max heat you can have is +4, and that means people love seeing the two of you together. At 0 heat, you guys have never met each other, and the audience is like, "Who the fuck are these guys?" And why?
Can we generate heat doing things?
Yes.
Yeah.
Your moves will generate heat, but we're also going to generate heat right now. So David, let's go to the clown. You're going to ask 3 questions, and Dave and Graham are going to answer them.
If it makes
Obviously-
it, if it makes it easier, you guys can just start calling me Henley. That'll work.
Henley, sure.
Are we doing 3 or are we saving
We're
one
doing
for 1
3.
hour?
So there's 4 questions, so we're doing 3, and we're saving 1 for Sean.
Okay.
So you can pick any 3 that you'd like to ask, and then the 2 of them will answer. It sounds like you're going to have had a tag team before. Maybe.
Yeah.
Who did you...
Yeah.
No, I'll step out.
I'm going to start with the big gun. Who thinks I'm a waste of a roster slot?
Yo.
Oh, shit.
Also,
Okay. This is interesting.
he's food.
Yeah. He's better off grazing than he
Yeah.
is
Get out of here.
hanging out with the big birds. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so you have +1 with Rooster, bringing you up to 2.
Boom! Take that, Grey Dizzle.
So why do you think he's a waste of the roster slot?
Well, I mean, honestly, if we look at him, he's literally a joke. And I am
The Golden Boy?
the golden boy. I am the future of this industry, and I'm going to take that clown down.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I'm marking down here that we have a future feud heading.
On to someone else or me some more?
Oh, you some more. Let's keep going.
Okay. This is not likely to be the same person, but who thinks my in-ring talent is being wasted in this role?
Now, one thing to remember is that these questions are vague. It could be that backstage Rooster actually thinks as a person that your talent is being wasted.
So let me like elaborate a little bit on Rooster here, because he actually is like on the book, sort of like, I don't want to hurt anyone as a wrestler. So if you follow that motif, and I imagine you would as like a babyface to some degree, then it might make sense. But otherwise,
Wow, there are baby faces that beat
you
the hell out
take
of
a lot
people.
of real. So if you're hurting people out there, it makes no sense that you would, be like that to Rooster. What about you, Graham? Where do you sit on that?
On Cowboy specifically?
Yeah.
Do you think his talent's being wasted?
For that question, as Clarence, as the person, I think he could do better. I think that's a dumb gimmick.
Ooh.
Me,
So you
Grant,
think his
doesn't
talent's being
necessarily think
wasted?
that, but
Okay.
Clarence, yeah, I think that he could do much better. He could be like a bull or something. He'd be El Torito.
God.
So you don't think his talent's being wasted as a clown? You think his talent's being wasted in terms of which animal he's picked?
No, I
Okay.
think he could be. Yeah, better. He could do better than that.
All right. So you now have 2 heat with Wolf, Cowboy.
I guess I'll go with the who was my tag team partner before I found my true niche.
Yes.
Well, I mean, like, since I'm a rising star, it doesn't make sense that I would have had a partner before, right?
I have a fourth question.
You can ask the other question if you think it would be more appropriate.
Okay. Who's asking me for tips to add something fresh to their act?
Ooh, that's interesting. I'm gonna put my hand up for that one, I reckon.
Okay.
Yeah.
So backstage in the
Yeah.
chicken outfit still, you talk to him about things?
Yeah, I'm just like, man, I really like what you're doing, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have 3
I thought you were
heat.
from L.A.
Yeah, I don't know American voices. I'm sorry.
He does sound like he's from L.A., but
Yeah.
like Asian, Mexican L.A. or something. I'm not
Yeah.
really sure what that accent was.
That was Cuban Miami.
I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
brah, what's up?
All right.
Give me some tips, bro. Totes.
How do you get your otters to hang the way they do? It's really impressive.
All right. So I think that covers you, right? We've got all of your heat now.
Yep.
Have you
David.
written down your own personal heat, by the way, Dave?
Yes.
David? Okay, excellent.
All right, cool. I'll get ready
We're
to-
going in reverse order, so we're back with the monster.
Oh, baby. Bring it out, Grey Dizzler. What do you
Wolf,
got?
you got 3 questions you can ask.
Are we going backwards? I
We
did not
are.
go first.
Did you go first?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you did. All right, Golden Boy.
Okay. So my question is as follows. Who's jealous of my rapid rise?
Oh, this is a feud question right there.
I would
Yeah,
happily take that one
Why?
because my vision of this guy backstage is that he's a total prima donna ass.
I agree with that. If that helps with anything.
Well, I mean, Rooster has done very well at keeping his actual identity secret. So maybe the way that he interacts with you guys backstage is
You're still in character
I'm
and
still
in
in
costume.
character, maybe. Or maybe my backstage persona is sort of like my real life persona. Maybe I don't separate it, but I just haven't shown my face to people. Like maybe that could be it as well. Like
I actually like the idea of you're such a method actor that you never drop it
Oh,
until you're
interesting.
in your trailer and the mask comes off.
Yeah, I like that. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
You don't break character until the DVD commentary.
All right. So
Exactly.
let me just write that down real quick.
That's Tropic Thunder, right?
Yep.
Oh, that movie was so
I'm
good.
dude-
All right.
I'm playing a dude disguised as a dude, pretending to be another dude, or whatever he said.
Yeah. All right. So Rooster and Cowboy. Rooster, you have 2 heat with Cowboy right now. I'm seeing a feud here because you both have heat with each other. You both have past beef on stage. I think there's almost certainly going to be a match.
All right, so that's +2 at the moment.
Yep. All right. You got 2 more questions.
All right.
Where are these? Are you getting these questions from somewhere? Or are you just thinking of questions?
They're on-
They're actually on your the first page of your player sheet underneath
Yeah.
the heat section.
So I think this one is pretty easy and it makes sense. Wait, no, we didn't take that question, but who's okay, who has taken it upon themselves to teach me a lesson in the ring?
Me?
All right, I like that.
Was that Wolf?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What's that about? Why are you punishing him in the ring?
Because he's not a real fighter. He's a wannabe.
Oh, okay. So I'm thinking there's a Rooster Wolf feud. Now, is that in character or out of character?
That's in character.
Okay, in character. There's some backstage beef. And not the kind that you get when you're with Cowboy. Damn. All right.
So what's the plus on that?
You are now +1 with Wolf.
All right. And the last one is, who did I debut with and leave behind?
Did I miss that one?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's the first one. Who did you debut with?
Maybe that's not the question for this group. All right. What about who's taken me under their wing? I think that's maybe. I think that's maybe Cowboy. I mean, if we go back to that previous one about, like, I'm asking him for tips and stuff outside the ring.
Think that's fair to say, Cowboy?
It might all be part of a nefarious plan, but sure.
All right.
Because I'm jealous of him.
Yeah.
As well.
You each
Maybe
have
you're
3
giving
heat
me
with
like
each other. now.
bad advice, you know.
That's very possible.
I like this. So what's that, +3 now? With Cowboy?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
So, yeah, so there's definitely a feud there. Totally. All right. Back to the monster.
Who's afraid of me?
Good question.
I would take that one.
Yeah, I think so too.
All right.
What's your power?
+1,
And you're real?
-2.
You're still a big guy, so I'd be happy to be
Who's
scared.
afraid of me in character?
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Okay, so you have Wolf. You have 2 heat with Cowboy currently. Let's get these questions going.
Who has made me look weak?
Yo.
Oh,
Yeah. I think
let's
so
talk
too.
about it.
Because he's an ass, and that's what he does.
So maybe we had a match previously. Maybe I was the first match that I had against him, and he was like, "Oh, rookie, what up?" And then I fucking cleaned his clock, man. Proved them about the rising star that is Rooster Lyme's.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you have 1 heat with Rooster.
Who can stand up? Who can stand up to me in the ring?
I'm probably gonna say me again.
I think it's kind of a similar question.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
All right, 2 with Rooster.
Does that add to mine as well against him?
It does not. Nope.
Okay, interesting.
But don't worry, you can play off of your heat for each other to build up a bigger beef.
Yeah, me and the great.
We will
Disc, they're
theoretically have something else with Sean.
Yeah. Cool. All right.
All right. So this is, we're actually almost coming up on break. So we're going to speed through this next part.
Yeah.
Because what happens normally is we go through what's happened last time, and then we take like a 5 to 10 minute break while I set up the matches. And how I'm going to do this for the future, viewers on YouTube, if you were watching live, you could advise me right now as to what matches you might like to see in the future in the Twitch chat. You can also tweet them to me right now at AP Gaming Real.
Do it.
So, what did happen last time? We're going to go around the table and we're going to do a highlight of what happened at the spring event. So, this is Friday Night Fights. This is an East Coast World Wrestling. We're going to be working our way down the East Coast with the mobile wrestling team. But the spring event, the spring slam, just happened. What happened there? You guys tell me.
I think Rooster Lyme's made his debut.
Okay, so that's where you showed up at. All right. So you were like a first timer there.
Yeah.
And you managed to cause a lot of beef with a lot of people.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Got my name.
What did you do while you were there?
Oh, as I said, I demolished Wolf in the ring in my debut.
Was it in his Wolf's lair match, Wolf's Den?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
So you just showed up.
I think it was my debut match, and they teamed me up against Wolf.
I say he pinned me before I could transform.
Ooh.
Oh, I like
Maybe
that.
I don't know about it. I was like, you're not.
Yeah,
you're not
like
a big.
you don't
bad
even know
wolf.
about it, so
Yeah.
you think you're better than me, but then
Yeah.
you're gonna get a dangerous lesson.
You think you know me?
Whenever I challenge him to a wolf's den match.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
it. I like that. I like
Yeah.
that. I like
He is,
that.
yeah. So he's not cognizant of the challenges ahead of him.
Yeah.
All right. So we get this. These incredible, like, you guys start off in the match, and immediately Rooster's just whooping your ass, and you're like getting ready to transform. Like, I don't know what it looks like when you do it. Do you like start shaking or something?
Yeah, it's more like in like Supernatural, whenever they like it looks like the bones are like I'm pretending like the bones are extending and I'm doing like all sort of jerky movements and stuff.
Yeah.
During that, he just clotheslines you or something.
No, I do
No,
my finishing
he like
move on
picked
him.
me up and like
Oh,
suplexed
you do the double super drop kick?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh,
yeah.
just double
I
playing
just-
it. He's like standing there, and you're just like right in the face.
Boom, lay him out, and then I pin his ass, and then I
Yeah.
get up and I'm like, "What's up? What's up?"
I'm the best.
yeah. Yeah. That's what happened.
Okay,
That's
so
what happened.
this is like the highlight reel, like for the 10 minutes before the wrestling show starts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they got the previews going on. What happened with you, Wolf? What's your highlight from Spring Slam?
Getting pinned.
Wolf?
Oh, sorry, what?
Yeah, what was your highlight? What was
that
your
show?
favorite part of Spring Slam? Yeah.
Are we including non-player wrestlers?
Well, I mean, it's something that you did as Wolf.
Well,
It could even be like before the show, after the show, during that period since then.
I think.
Did you find
that
Rooster backstage and beat his ass with a crowbar? I don't know.
Beat his ass with a crowbar.
No, I think I like after that happened, I think I like accused him of cheating or something because I don't really remember what happened.
Okay.
Got laid out, yeah.
So, like, we get a picture of you talking to the camera, doing a promo, and you're like, "You're a coward. You're a
Yeah.
cheater." Okay.
I mean, for real.
This isn't even my final form.
This.
Fight me at my full strength.
Yeah, I do say that. That's
All right. Yeah. Let's talk about Cowboy. What was your favorite part of Slam?
Cowboy ended a like 6-month-long feud against a veteran heel to be named later, finally pinning him for the first time in the entire feud.
Okay. Did that end the feud? Was it
I'd
a
say-
clean pin in the center of the ring?
It was like it was clean, but it was kind of like, it was basically like a surprise roll-up. It was like from out of nowhere, he suddenly just schoolboyed him.
Okay. All right.
He threw rocks at him from the slippy slide.
All right.
Is it really Cowboy's prerogative to try and win? Is that antithesis to the clown idea? Or
Clowns, I mean, as a baby face, I'm not a jobber, which is a
Yeah, he doesn't
completely
have to
different
lose.
gimmick. So I should get some wins. Maybe not
There-
the majority
can
of
you
my
give me like
matches, but
is there like a WWE, like what? Who is like that?
Santino Marella.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Hurricane.
Hosting the Valentine's Day special or whatever. That's you.
Well, now that he's retired, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
But Hurricane, that would be another good example.
Okay.
Wow. People want to see Wolf in like 3 matches. Okay.
Damn, what?
We're just going to book him all night long, apparently. Well, audience, if you have your ideas of what you'd like to see, we'll come back. We'll do the show intro. We'll go through some sponsorships. We're going to start with a match that's going to be one of the players versus a non-player wrestler. And then we're going to go into a player versus player match. What's it going to be? I don't know. We'll find out.
We'll find out.
Yeah, Wolf find out. Exactly.
All right, guys. We'll be back in 3 to 5. Don't go anywhere. We've got another 3 hours of this tonight. 3. So, yeah, stick around.